Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, or you find a way to lose. Some people feel Oscar De La Hoya just wants attention. You know what I'm saying? Like he just wants attention, kind of like that guy who was in the audience during the Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford press conference. Y'all remember when all this happened?
Look, they're going to get when you step in the ring with Terrence Bud Crawford.
You a bitch.
You don't get legendary stuff.
You a bitch, nigga.
See,
you a bitch, nigga. You a bitch, nigga.
Well, hold on.
Talking to, nigga.
Let everyone.
You a bitch, nigga. Cause you keep talking like a bitch, nigga. You doing all that talking, nigga.
That's how we
gonna get it. You doing all that talking, nigga. Oh, whole ass nigga.
You catch me, gotta come back. Catch me, gotta come back.
Real niggas don't talk, nigga. And you talking too much, nigga.
That's Vergil Ortiz to De La Hoya with his clapback Thursdays and all the drama that De La Hoya has been bringing to Golden Boy, to himself, to his fighters. You're doing too much talking, no gooder. But you know what, man? Vergil Ortiz and Oscar De La Hoya in the beginning, didn't it seem like it was a match made in heaven? De La Hoya, Ortiz, Mexican-American. There's a certain connection there when cultures connect, you know what I'm saying? The beginning of that relationship was on point. Signed with De La Hoya, looked like they were going the right direction. Ortiz was one of the most dangerous prospects in boxing. De La Hoya needed a young American star to help the company into the future. Ortiz had knockout power, fan-friendly style, and Texas roots, making him extremely marketable, and Ortiz has done nothing but handle business. Just that short period of time where Ortiz had the rhabdomyolysis, which he almost lost his life. Very, very bad time for Ortiz. Seemed like De La Hoya and Golden Boy sticking by him. It just looked like the relationship was going to last forever. At the time, many fans believed Ortiz would become the face of Golden Boy's next generation, future pay-per-view attraction, possibly the next big American champion, welterweight, 154 pounds. But this is what's crazy to me, because for years the relationship looked strong on the surface, but behind the scenes tensions slowly began building. And that's why a lot of us are sitting here confused. You know what I mean? We don't understand, and we're shocked, the massive fight opportunity that De La Hoya is blocking. Like, I don't care about this contracts and all the legal bullshit. I just want to see the fight. The biggest payday of Ortiz's career was reportedly within reach. Right there. Matchroom, DAZN, Jerron Ennis, everybody's on the same sheet of music. Vergil Ortiz, they were going to make huge money. Turkey out of sheet putting the money up. You know when Turkey's in the house every day is Thanksgiving. De La Hoya came out here and just screwed it up. The whole shit fell apart amid promotional conflict. Left the fans, all boxing fans, Vergil Ortiz, it's not just a Mexican thing you wouldn't understand, a Mexican-American thing where the horns are blowing. Viva Mexico Cabrones. Hell no. Everybody likes Vergil Ortiz. Everybody. Because of that fighting style. But now you see that the fight between him and Ennis is not happening, so fans have a very simple question. Why would a promoter block the biggest payday of his own fighter's career, and that will put plenty of money in his pocket too? What is the issue? Promoters are normally motivated by big events, big purses, big exposure. So when a deal collapses that could have had all three, people immediately start wondering what really happened. Like, I'm sitting here wondering, was Eddie Hearn trying to steal Ortiz? Like, you just don't know, because Eddie Hearn's shady. But we don't know, but there are some possible reasons behind the breakdown. Like, one, control over the fighter. De La Hoya seems to be a guy who fears losing control of a rising star. And also fears the rising star losing. If Ortiz fought a massive fight under another promotional structure abroad, broadcast platform, it could weaken Golden Boy's leverage over his future career. And now for a promoter control equals a few things: negotiating power, revenue share, long-term promotional rights. If Ortiz became a superstar in a deal not fully controlled by Golden Boy, the company might lose leverage moving forward, which they have. Ortiz will finish out whatever. They'll go through arbitration. He'll finish out whatever's on the contract. And he's already said, I'm out of there. Ortiz already said, I'm leaving. Matter of fact, while I'm sitting here talking to you, let me see something. Because I was reading it, and I was like, damn, Vergil Ortiz is done. He's done with De La Hoya, you know what I'm saying? Now, what's funny is this right here. There's always something, right? They're saying that this was just a move they all put together so they don't look like they're ducks. So Vergil Ortiz is out here being made to look like, he's ducking Jerome Boutsinis. Says, although the judge didn't see it our way and the fight is blocked for now, my team and I will be moving on to arbitration and to the court appeal. My time with Golden Boy is done. I'm confident that my right to move on to other opportunities will be upheld. As always, I'm in the gym, staying ready. Any 154 champion should do the same. It's only a matter of time. So what got me here is when he says, my time with Golden Boy is done. So we're going to find out if all this is true, but you can look and see from someone on Ennis's team, they're saying this was all just a move, basically saying he put duck sauce on the carne asada. Now, we're going to find out if he is leaving Golden Boy, because you can't come now and sign an extension, then we're going to know that he basically ducked Jerron Ennis. And that's going to be a horrible choice if he chooses to do that. Now, so there you go. Looks like he's done with Golden Boy. But as far as the breakdown, maybe there's some platform conflicts. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a certain platform or network wanted some exclusivity from Vergil Ortiz. And Golden Boy has historically worked with DAZN, but the biggest fights in boxing are often funded by outside investors or alternative platforms where you can't help but think about Turki Al-Sheikh and Zuffa and Paramount. Like, you just don't know what direction all this was going. It sounded like it was going to be another DAZN production, but I'll just say, if the fight required moving outside of Golden Boy's broadcast structure, that could create conflict. But that doesn't sound like that was the issue. You know what I'm saying? And the financial structure of the deal could be an issue too. But not every big purse benefits a promoter equally. And that could be what the problem is here. The fighter makes huge money, but the promoter's percentage becomes smaller. And a lot of people don't want to work with De La Hoya right now, especially Turki Al-Sheikh. He ain't interested in putting no money up that's going to benefit De La Hoya. So if the promotional split or revenue structure didn't favor Golden Boy, the company may have been hesitant to proceed. And that's really what it sounds like to me, is a money thing. But Ortiz is going to finish his contract first and then he's out. You know what I mean? He's not looking for a big, messy split. He's just going to finish out the remaining of his contract and he's gone. And what this does is the approach allows him to avoid long legal battles, maintain professionalism, keep momentum in his career. Because who wants to keep paying lawyer fees just for you to get through the legal process just to find out, hey, you got to finish out your contract anyway. So there wasn't a different outcome than what you were hoping for. It wasn't the outcome you were hoping for, but you ended up, making your lawyers rich. But after the contract obligations are fulfilled, the situation moves to arbitration. This is where I'm curious to see how the arbitration goes. But all they're going to do is they're just going to try to settle and dispute the contracts and the terms of the contract. They're just going to try to figure it out. And some say it's a very strategic move. It shows Ortiz is just trying to respect the legal agreement, avoid burning bridges publicly, and position himself for freedom afterward. So Ortiz is looking big picture. But that arbitration, that shit is a quiet war in boxing. Remember, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury went to an arbitration. Mediation? Yeah, I think it was an arbitration. But in boxing, arbitrations usually involve disputes about contract length, fight obligations, promotional rights, revenue splits. These cases rarely become fully public, but they often determine whether a fighter can leave early, whether a promoter still has options on fights, financial settlements. So for Ortiz, arbitration could determine how quickly he can move on to a new promotional situation. And I hope he can move on immediately, because I'm tired of seeing him, with everything he's gone through health-wise, to be out here about to get the biggest fight of his career, which, remember, Jerome Boots Ennis has been affected by this drama as well. But at least he gets to get his stuff together, because Vergil Ortiz doesn't have time to spare. You just don't know when he's going to become ill again. You don't know what's going to happen with him. So far, he's in a good space. He needs to be fighting as much as possible. But there are some fans who feel like Ortiz has lost valuable momentum. They say, yo, Hood, before the conflict, he was considered one of the most exciting fighters in boxing. Positioned for major championship fights. His knockout streak made him a fan favorite, but now these delays and promotional disputes have slowed him down. I think some of that's beyond his control. I know he has a team of advisors, and it just seemed like there was a huge internal disconnect between Ortiz and his team and De La Hoya. But in boxing, timing is everything, man. You know, a fighter's prime window is small, so maybe Ortiz's team felt like, look, we need to go this route because De La Hoya and Golden Boy, they're not understanding what we need to do here. But I'll say this, every month, every 6 months, every year, without a major fight can cost money, exposure, legacy opportunities. But that's why I just try to understand the bigger problem with boxing promotions. Situations like this highlight one of boxing's biggest structural issues. Unlike other sports, fighters often have separate promoters, separate networks, separate business interests. This creates a system where the best fights sometimes get blocked by business politics. Fans hate it, fighters hate it, but it remains a reality of the sport. So what's going to happen next for Vergil Ortiz? I don't know. But I tell you what, he finished his obligation with De La Hoya. He's going to become one of the most attractive fighters in boxing for promoters. Could sign with a new promoter, become a promotional free agent, work directly with large fight investors, which is what I think he'll do. He better not sign with Eddie Hearn. That's the worst thing he can do, because Eddie Hearn, you'll get shelved. Eddie Hearn can't make big fights. He doesn't want to spend the money. He might as well go to Zuffa. Go to Zuffa. Get paid. Ortiz is still young and talented. If positioned correctly, he could still become a major star. At 154, a future world champion. One of the most exciting action fighters in boxing. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is the situation with Ortiz, it hurts him and it hurts Golden Boy. Golden Boy is going to lose Ortiz. One of the most exciting fighters, potential American star, future pay-per-view attraction. You lose a fighter with Ortiz fan-friendly style is a major blow for any promotional company. De La Hoya has screwed the pooch folks. So the real lesson from this situation is this entire situation highlights a major truth about boxing. Talent alone isn't enough. A fighter also needs the right promotion, the right fights, the right timing, the right business structure. When those things fall apart, careers stall. And fans are left wondering, what could have been. But for Ortiz, I think we know what's coming up in the future. Because he's got guys like Turkey Al-Sheikh and Dana White, and even every promoter sitting there, man, licking their chops. Can't wait to get an opportunity to work with Vergil Ortiz. So, this thing about Vergil Ortiz being done, nah. But I do think Oscar De La Hoya's empire is crumbling. And De La Hoya should be panicking right now instead of being furious. Because Ryan Garcia is next. And then Golden Boy won't have shit. Keep cool, I'm in the breeze.